The contours may have changed, but the challenge has not.
With the slow speed corners, high speed corners, up, down. In our days, I think the Spa is the most complete circuit.
For all the refinements to its curves and corners, the Spa-Francorchamps circuit remains one of the truest tests of skill and courage in Formula One for the drivers of this and any era.
If you lose circuits like Spa, you have lost so much from Grand Prix racing. Spa has always been very special.
Formula One's world champion in 1964 driving a Ferrari, John Surtees won the Belgian Grand Prix for the Scuderia at Spa 2 years later.
It's comfortable. And your seat belts.
It's one of the few distinctions to have so far eluded the occupant of his 1963 Ferrari 156, a man more familiar with Spa's most recent configuration.
With the level of grip and the power we have now, there are some corners that lost a little bit of emotion, like Eau Rouge and Blanchimont, that are now flat out for us with no problems. That, I think, is a difference compared to the past.
That's fantastic, because in our time what we had to watch is, yes, get the speed into it, but not too much, because you needed to make certain you were on the power through the corner, so you've got to drive up the hill afterwards, because the big thing was that if you didn't get off that corner, someone would immediately pick you up and slipstream you up to where you now turn right, we turned left.
How was the slipstream in your time? It was very sensitive?
Oh, very, but of course also very bumpy. So you had to be a little careful, and particularly when it rained, of course, you had lots of puddles.
Well, I think it's one of the things that make a Spa different. The rain and different parts of the circuit with different level of water in the track, and even sometimes a dry part and a wet part.
A wet part, so this is it. You go off a line and you're not quite sure what's going to be where. I think it is the character of Spa. It is part of our heritage, and it is the heart of our sport.
Surtees raced in his last Grand Prix in 1972, when aerodynamic downforce was in its infancy and electronic driver aids had still to be introduced.
Somewhere along the line there's a balance to be found between entertainment and not making circuits redundant. It's important that the people with the real skill can still be able to snatch back those few tenths. You have this difference between a pretty good driver and a very good driver.
Generations apart they may be, but like all Ferraris, Surtees 156 and the 2009 F60 in which Kimi Räikkönen won at Spa that year have at least one thing in common.
It's great to hear that these two cars share the Shell technology. The lubricant and the fuel remains the same characteristic, which is to make the car finish all the races with no problem, but have something more than your competitors, and how Shell were sharing this passion so many years.
In 2011, that passion for technological advance and the unstinting search for speed are combined again at Spa in the Shell Belgian Grand Prix.
We feel a special weekend. Places like Spa or Monaco, etc. You know that winning there means something extra. We all want to win every race, but in those places you put something more, because you feel it, that is a special weekend.
With the sort of corners which they develop at Spa, you get through and you get that satisfaction. To come across the line, it is a bonus. You felt special. And I think that is what we mustn't lose from motorsport.